Ever tune into a hunting video and you watch the people just walk right by obvious buck sign? Let's say you tune into a hunting public video. You ever notice how much buck sign they walk by? I mean, they don't even pay attention to it. And it's for the same reason I don't pay attention to it. It's too close. Sure, it's buck sign. That deer might come through, but it's obvious and it's easy to access. So when you're hunting public property, the first buck sign that you're going to find is generally buck sign you want to ignore. Now, here's an important part of that buck sign, okay? What direction is it headed? And could you possibly take advantage of it? Now, here's what I'm saying. You start walking in the woods and you're on a big piece of public property. Could be a small piece of public property, but you already have an area that you're kind of thinking about going to. Is that sign headed toward that area? Is it headed toward an area that might be like a little sneaky spot, like between parking areas where there's nowhere to park? Okay, you can put that in your memory banks for later. I'll go one further. If it's an area that I'm planning on hunting, I won't even put a camera around that sign. It's like that. But let's say the sign is going in a good direction toward where I'm going to scout, okay? What I will do is, if it's going in the direction I was going anyhow, I will follow that buck sign. I will follow it a quarter mile, a half mile, 3/4 of a mile, even a mile. Now, if you can't do it physically, I don't expect you to try, okay? You got to know your physical limitations. But if you can, follow that. A lot of times, it'll take you off the beaten path, and it'll get you to an area where, well, you might want to hunt. Now, here's the important thing. When you're on a piece of public property and you're on a, quote, on a trail, okay? Many times that trail is going to take you through some of the most open areas of the property. Not always, but a lot of times, at least for a while. Now that's the other reason why I'm really not so interested in that sign. Chances are that sign was left in the middle of the night. So, here's what you do. You either follow that sign until you get to an area where you say, yeah, you know what, I'm off the beaten path. I'm not seeing a lot of human activity. Looks pretty good around here. And then I'll put a camera on the trail, especially if I'm not planning on hunting it right away. I just want inventory, okay? What's happening? Okay, you need to understand that I'm not necessarily hunting any buck. On certain situations I am, a lot of situations I'm not. If I've got time and only one buck tag, and I feel like I can run into a decent deer, I'm probably not shooting everything that's there. And for those that are griping, it doesn't take any woodsmanship skills. Well, in the way of woodsmanship skills, I saw the sign, I recognized what direction it's going in, I followed the sign, okay? And there's no hard and fast rule what buck is rubbing what tree. Now, I will tell you that I tend to pay attention more to trees, let's say, the size of a 1-inch PVC pipe and bigger. Okay, everybody can envision that piece of 1-inch PVC pipe, or the handle area of a baseball bat or whatever. And especially if there's two trees close together and they're both rubbed. Okay, so as far as woodsmanship skills, yeah, it took woodsmanship skills to do that. But after that, I don't know anybody that can look at a rub and say, you know what, that deer was 112 inches. Or this one was 94 inches or whatever. Or this, how about this? How about if you're just saying, you know, I just want to shoot any 3-year-old deer. Okay, I don't care what the antlers it's got, but I feel that the challenge is to kill, you know, a deer older than most of the other deer are killed. Well, nothing tells you how old the deer was. So, yeah, get a picture of him when he gets closer to an area where you might hunt. Also, while you're following that, not only look for new rubs, but look for old rubs. Historical rubs is one of the other guys would say. Who is that? That big buck serial killer guy. Whoever he is. Dan Infalt. But yeah, when you're on a rub line, okay, and you're finding rubs that are, fresh ones, stuff that might be a year old, 2 years old, reworked rubs from other years, that shows you that bucks walk through that area year after year after year. Okay? Now, what time of year is it? I can't tell you. When they go in, when they start, when they stop? Well, it depends upon the terrain. When you're in what I would call rough terrain, a lot of ups and downs and stuff like that, no agriculture, a lot of times the deer sign is made earlier in the year, okay? From, say, I don't want to say before Thanksgiving, okay? The deer are going through the rut, they're chasing does down in through the valleys and stuff like that, but most of that sign is not made by the time gun season rolls around. So to wrap this up, you're looking for 3 things before you're saying, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to hunt here, okay? You're looking for that sign. Next, you're looking for where that sign leads you to either a topographic change, a change in thickness of brush, anywhere that you can possibly hunt them. And number 3, with the camera, you're looking to identify what that deer looks like. Hey, for Real World Deer Hunter, I'm Steve.